Hello everybody, how are you doing? It's Damon yet again with another rebooking video, and this time it's SummerSlam 2020. I told you I was gonna get those suckers before the end of August. And this one is tougher. I can't talk to you too much about movies, knowing the situation the world was living in 2020. I could tell you the movies I went to see. I saw Tenet, pretty good movie, pretty good experimental movie. Do I believe it's a bit complicated, overcomplicated? Yes, but I really liked it. Bill and Ted 3. I felt like it's a great conclusion. If it is a conclusion to Bill and Ted, and I was expecting nothing else. Bad Boys for Life. I'm surprised Bad Boys for Life wasn't the title for Bad Boys 4, but whatever. Again, apart from this, the after credit scene, you could have basically seen this as the conclusion of that series. But Will Smith needed Bad Boys 4 too, you know. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the Bad Boys movies. The second one's the one I enjoyed the least, surprisingly, because it felt like people talk about Batman Returns being so much more violent Batman. Not the case. However, Bad Boys 2, I could see that argument actually being valid. I mean, see the violence, the first Bad Boys, and see the one Bad Boys 2 one was basically over the top violence for no reason. I have no problem with movies, like basically having some movies, having some gore, some grit, but it has to make sense, and didn't make sense for Bad Boys 2. And what else? I saw Invisible Woman. Sorry, Invisible Man. Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, and I felt like she was snob of a Best Actress Academy Award nomination. I think it might have been my favorite movie of 2020. So yeah, not a great year in terms of movies that year. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984, the less said, the better. Birds of Prey was okay. Onwards was okay. Uh, so that's in terms of movies. In terms of wrestling, it was kind of harsh watching movies, watching wrestling basically with no crowds for that period of time. And then Thunderdome. At least the Thunderdome, while it wasn't the greatest solution, I thought was at least a solution. At least they tried something. But it's better than silence. WWE at that time, you had for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre for the Universal title, you had Braun Strowman for just a second. So for the IC title, you had AJ Styles. For the US title, you had Apollo Crews. For the women's title, you have Sasha Banks. For the World's Women's title, SmackDown Women's Championship, you had Bayley. For the tag titles, you had Street Profits. For the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, that's Nakamura and Cesaro. And for the women's tag, you had Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now, what I would have booked SummerSlam 2020. Would it be the same as usual? Nah. I would have starting off that time basically because if I would have still kept Asuka as a challenger for both women's championship, but since he's doing double duty, it's settled by whoever I think was Adam Pearce was still the GM at that point. I would have made sure that whoever basically not just it's not just Asuka that has to play double duty or do double duty, Bayley and Sasha Banks as well. So we'll have to defend the women's tag team title at SummerSlam, and they would defend the title against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. In that match, the reason why we start off with that match is basically would be an open match. Basically, actually, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will be closest thing to a face team in that match. And all in all, Bayley and Sasha Banks seems to be a well-oiled machine until the end, where basically Bayley tries to to basically do a top rope double drop kick to Sasha Banks to Nia Jax, but she ducks and Sasha Banks gets it. Nia Jax does a Samoa drop, and yeah, and basically 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler win the women's tag team championship on that night. Then for the United States title, you have Apollo Crews defends against Bobby Lashley. 5, 6, 7 minutes. It leads to Bobby Lashley winning via the Hurt Lock. Then, for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, you have Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro defending against the New Day. versus Miz and Morrison versus Heavy Machinery. And I would have Miz, I would have Miz and Morrison take out Heavy Machinery and basically Miz being distracted by Otis out ringside, basically, and it would lead to New Day eventually winning back the SmackDown Tag Team titles from Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Then for the World Women's or SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Asuka. Asuka's about to win. She basically delivers a pinning combination. Basically, it could be basically equivalent of a small package, but Sasha Banks makes sure to reverse illegally the small package so that basically Bayley's on top and she retains the World Women's title. So yeah. Then you would have Sheamus against Keith Lee. Keith Lee was being pushed on the main roster. Sheamus was there, but so you could have Sheamus as Keith Lee. And I know that might not be popular, but I actually have a double count on with the two because Keith Lee has a small impact knowing going back there, and Sheamus could afford to draw. You could have a match basically could lead up to a later match, and basically Sheamus is Keith Lee. But right now, I want to have a draw. So then you would have Rey Mysterio teaming up with Aleister Black. Aleister Black would not turn heel here. Rey versus and Aleister Black team up with Ricochet and Rey's son, Dominic Mysterio, to take on Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and the AOP. And I would have Seth Rollins' team win because he needed that win at that time because he lost to Drew McIntyre Money in the Bank. And would have win by pinning Dominic Mysterio after 2 stomps. And afterwards, Rey would come to the rescue of Seth. Rey would come to the rescue of Dominic. The face basically downs down the heels, and that's how it is. With the tag team titles, I would have the Street Profits defending against the Hurt Business. Yeah, I would start developing the Hurt Business right away of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Street Profits have been tag team champions like 6-7 months. You can give him to the Hurt Business at that point. Now, for the Intercontinental title, I would have a triple threat match. AJ Styles against Daniel Bryan against Jeff Hardy. I'm tempted to give in Daniel Bryan in a last singles title win because afterwards, that's it. And like I'm really struggling if I admit because AJ Styles could keep the title if not. Because Jeff Hardy could win at Night of Champions because that's what I would have done. All in all, I think I'll have Daniel Bryan get a 1-month title reign and say basically the title he never lost. That's why it was important for him. The title never lost. He wins again, but this time actually loses in a singles match at Night of Champions. And he could lose it to either Jeff Hardy or Sami Zayn. Then we have in a squash match, that's right, Kevin Owens squashes Baron Corbin in 2 minutes. That's it. That's all I want to say. And I think there's 1 or 2 oh yeah, the 2 matches left for the WWE title. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton to keep it the same as there in real life. Drew McIntyre wins via a backslide or a roll up. And for Universal title, Braun Strowman defends against Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt and against Matt Riddle. Knowing Roman Reigns wins the title anyway, like several months, several days later, I felt like it was stupid to have Bray Wyatt have like a 1 week title reign. It actually hurts the Fiend more. Get him started up, basically Roman Reigns steals that heel turn, but he's not there yet. But there's Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. They take each other out at ringside. It leaves Roman Reigns to deliver his low blow, patented low blow when somebody's covering him. Basically, and then he does a definite low blow to Matt Riddle, delivers his spear 1-2-3. So the reign of Roman Reigns would have started at SummerSlam 2020. And it could have been a storyline where nobody expected, basically the people thought we have triple threat match, but Roman Reigns inserted due to the request of Paul Heyman and ended up winning. So you start the heel turn with a Universal title win, And that's what I would have closed out SummerSlam 2020. Let me know what you think, comments down below. Catch you guys later. Peace.